Good morning, friends, and it's wonderful to be with you again today. Paul writes the Thessalonians in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18, and he says, "Give God thanks in all circumstances." It's a lot easier to say than to do, isn't it? All circumstances. I don't know what your circumstances are this morning. God certainly knows. You know. Are you giving thanks in those circumstances? Recently, I had a conversation with Don and Martha Tennyson. They were the pastors of the Radcliffe Assembly of God in Radcliffe, Kentucky in 1988, when the most horrible alcohol-related auto accident in U.S. history occurred. Their church bus was loaded with 66 people, was coming back home on a late Saturday evening after being gone with a youth group at an event. And a drunk driver crossed the median coming the other direction and hit the church bus head on. An instant inferno erupted inside the bus as temperatures reached as high as 2,000 degrees. And 27 of the people on the bus perished. 24 young people, 3 adults. As the Tennisons got the news of what had happened to their wonderful young people and the 3 adult sponsors that had perished, they asked for the families of the kids to come and meet them at the church. And in 15-minute intervals, as the State Highway Department gave them the names of those who had died in the crash, in 15-minute intervals, they called the parents in, a set of parents one at a time, and talked with the parents and prayed with them and counseled them. About the 10th or the 11th set of parents that came into the room had an only child named Billy. He was 17 years of age. And the Tennysons said to this dear family, "I'm sorry to tell you that Billy was one of those that was lost." And of course, you can imagine the reaction. The husband immediately fell to pieces, as all of us could understand. The mother's response was what really caught the attention of the Tennysons, because his mother immediately lifted her hands and said, "Thank you, God, for giving us 17 wonderful years with Billy." They said they knew right in that moment that the person that would probably emerge the healthiest, fastest from this terrible accident would be Billy's mother. And indeed, that week, Billy's mother and dad led 27 of Billy's friends to the Lord. And later, they were instrumental in helping 3 young women who were going to abort their children to talk those mothers into adoption, and they adopted the 3 children. They had faced a very difficult circumstance, but they had found that for which they could give thanks for in the middle of that circumstance. I don't know your circumstance today. God does. And if you will look at your circumstance with an attitude of gratitude and lift your heart and say, "I will thank God for what I can be grateful for in this moment of time in my life."